Hey, howdy, hey, how is everybody doing? And welcome back to Disney Daily. So today we have a very important conversation that we need to have, which is, will Raya be joining the other Disney princesses officially in the royal lineup, or will she be a standalone Disney princess with her own franchise? Today we are going to discuss and theorize which category she falls into and why. Now let's get into it, shall we? In my opinion, I think Raya will be joining the other Disney princesses and she won't be a standalone, but let's first get into what must a Disney heroine do in order to be considered a Disney princess. Now, this is probably going to be a review for most of my Disney Daily family, but for any new learners out there, here's the breakdown. First and foremost, Raya must meet one of the requirements from the secret princess criteria. This being that the princess is either born royal, married into a royal family, or performed a significant act of heroism. Now, technically speaking, not only is she born royal, which is indicated in the movie specifically, but she also performs a significant act of heroism, or at least I would argue she does. So without a doubt, Raya clears the first set of criteria. But what about the second? Now, this is the part where you are probably going, wait, what? Disney Daily, I didn't know there were more criteria. And to that I say, yes, there are 4 more requirements that a princess must meet in order to be in the lineup. And in this round, she must satisfy all of the requirements. And this second set of criteria is where we get into a tricky situation. You see, the second set of requirements are as followed. The Disney heroine must be a human. She must be a primary role in the movie, she cannot be introduced in a sequel, and the movie she is in cannot overperform or perform poorly at the box office. Once again, Raya meets all of those, but the very last one is tricky, and here is where I make my argument about why Raya will be joining her other Disney princess friends and won't be a standalone princess. And I'm going to use the Frozen sisters to help illustrate this point. Now, this may come as a shock to you all, but Elsa and Anna are actually not a part of the Disney princess lineup. They are in fact their own franchise. Now, this is because Frozen did so well at the box office, financially speaking, that they could afford to become their own franchise. Hence why you will see specific merchandise for Frozen, but you will never see Elsa and Anna on merchandise with the other Disney princesses or marketed with them. Nor will you see them mingling with the other princesses, except that one time they all met up in Wreck-It Ralph, but never mind that. Now, the reason there is no crossover between the Frozen sisters and the other princesses is because they are completely separate and are recognized by Disney as such. Now, as I stated before, this is solely based off of box office success. Just to give you guys an idea, Frozen made $1.2 billion and Frozen 2 made approximately $1.5 billion at the box office. So basically, a movie has to make around those numbers for their Disney characters to even be considered for their own franchise. So take our latest princess before Raya, Moana. Her movie did not hit these Frozen box office numbers, so she was designated as part of the Disney princess lineup. I will add that they did this very subtly by just adding her to the Disney princess website, but not giving her a proper coronation like they did for the other 3 princesses before her. But that's another video for another time. Now, in terms of Raya's numbers, they are going to be significantly impacted due to COVID-19, and because of this, I think her character will end up joining the other princesses like Moana, and here's why. Due to COVID-19, Raya and the Last Dragon had a unique and unorthodox release date. While it did release in theaters, it also released at home on Disney Plus for an additional charge of $30. Now let's look at each situation individually. In terms of box office numbers, the movie is underperforming. For Raya's opening weekend, it made approximately $8.6 million, which is very low for a Disney movie. However, the reason it is so low is because movie-going culture is very different now. Not only do people not feel safe going to theaters, but those who do actually go have to follow social distancing protocols, which inherently limits the amount of guests in the theater at any one time. As you can see, this is not Raya and the Last Dragon's fault, it's just the box office numbers are contingent upon the current state of things. Now, in regards to Disney Plus purchases, we don't know the numbers on that specifically. However, I think it is reasonable to assume that majority of individuals who are already paying for Disney Plus are not going to fork out an additional $30 for one movie. Now, obviously, that is just my own assumption, and there is no way to really know for sure, especially since Disney hasn't released its Disney Plus numbers in terms of movie purchases. For example, the live action Mulan, which was released last year, still doesn't have accurate numbers in terms of how much money was made from the subscription service. So I would argue the same is going to happen in Raya's case. Now, in conclusion, due to external factors beyond anyone's control, this movie's numbers will not be comparable to Frozen. Thus, this would put Raya alongside other princesses such as Mulan, Belle, and Jasmine. And honestly, I'm really excited about that because I love when the Disney princesses are all together. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, thanks for being my guest here at Disney Daily. Until next time.